Hello, everybody. This is Reverend Jerry Hobby, and I am so happy to be with you this evening. We are continuing with our book study, Larry's Expanding Consciousness book study, and we have a special treat for you today before we get started. And this special treat is a special guest that just popped in to share something extraordinary with us. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to open the room up for her. I'm going to unmute her. Her name is Miss Karen Cobbs, and she's going to do our invocation this evening. The invocation is going to be through music. Karen, I'm going to unmute you now. Can you share?
I'm unmuted. Hi. I don't know if I lost you for a second. I don't see you in the window. But hi, I'm Karen.
I'm here.
Oh, there you are. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes, hi. I missed part of what you said. You were unmuting me and then that was it.
You're going to do the invocation. And that invocation will be through song.
Which
That's
song?
Your expertise.
Yes. Is the song that we're going to talk about?
Yes.
Okay, then cool. Let's do this one. All right. So just so you know, this song is a song I wrote specifically to thank people. Here we go.
Are we getting
feedback? Maybe as well, and the postal workers for delivering the mail. Can't forget the nurses, but you're so thankful, all essential workers. You are just angels, you do your best, you keep on going. All your hard work is always showing. Your sacrifice is more than I see. What I see is your amazing. So I say thank you. Thank you, thank you. I'm thankful for what you do. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I just want to do a little piece of that because I know we're going to play the whole video that has a very familiar face on the video, the lovely Reverend Jerry. She's in there, so just keep a lookout. So this is a song that I wrote specifically to thank essential workers and also to thank whoever is essential to you in your life. So, and I was, first off, I want to say thank you for Reverend Jerry and Larry Hobby for letting me be part of this group this evening. It's just a blessing to know them and that they're so kind to be a part and support my vision. It means a lot to me, like words cannot explain and express. So basically we were, I just want to turn it back over to Reverend so that she can continue on and kind of point me in the direction that she wants me to go.
Okay. So Karen and I go way, way back. And the thing that I love most about Karen is her spirit and her willingness to share her gift. She's very talented. I'm going to call her a musician, not just a soloist, but a musician. And she has a new album out. I'm going to encourage you guys to go and check it out. We're going to send you the link to this video, but we have our IT person on this evening, and he's on for a specific reason, and that is to play the video for you. I'd love for you guys to celebrate with us this debut and her traveling. She's traveling the circuit right now. That's the way we do it. We're doing it through Zoom right now. So Adrian, yes. Can you take it away now and share that video for everyone? And I'm going to encourage Larry right now. I know that he is on Facebook Live. turn the sound up.
Okay, that was a Facebook Live. That was a video. Really couldn't hear it that well. But anyway, we're getting started in just a second.
Well, you know, unfortunately, I definitely am grateful for being here, and thank you for just sharing the video. If you want to see the, you know, the full video, you can definitely go to my Facebook page, which is Karen Cobb. It's a public post, so my name is Karen. Or you can go to my page, which is Casey's Creative Corner, because I'm in a corner, and I'm Karen Cobb, Casey, but it's Kaceys, Creative Corner. Or even just go on YouTube and under Karen Cobb. It's there, and I'm sure Reverend Jerry and Larry Hobby are going to be happy to share the link. Yes. And actually, I'm actually getting ready to go live on my own Facebook channel. I have a show on both of those pages that streams live for about an hour and a half of me just singing. So when you're done,
happy birthday.
You know, take your time, come by, say hi.
Yes.
But I appreciate you so much, and you know, and just quickly, I just want to say that with that song, with that song, I'm doing a hashtag, which is hashtag Thank You 2020 Project, which is for you to share that video with people and encourage them to, you know, really appreciate the essential workers.
Okay, thank you, Karen.
Thank you. Unfortunately, I gotta go, but
Thank you, Karen.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll see you guys later. Nice meeting you, Karen.
Thank you.
Okay.
Nice meeting you.
You're fabulous.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you all. So with that in mind, I'm just going to invite everyone to just breathe with me. I'm sorry that we lost a couple of people, and I know they're coming back. And so with that in mind right now, I'm just going to take a moment just to anchor us and get us centered. And as we move into this place of centering right now, I just simply know that there is only one power, one presence, one spirit. That power, that presence, that spirit is God in action. And I know that that divine presence is alive and it's overflowing. It is expressing itself and it is fulfilling itself. And in this very moment, right here, right now, I know that everything that is necessary to move us forward is in perfect and divine order. So I give thanks for this wonderful blessing. I release it and I just allow it to be. And together we all affirm and say, and so it is. I'm unmuting all right now so you can say, and so it is. I'm going to
And so it
introduce
is.
Larry.
Amen.
I'm going to introduce Larry right now. And Larry will be facilitating the book study the rest of the evening. I'm going to turn this over to you.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Facebook Live, for being patient with us. And we're going to get started on our book study. And our book is titled, I Am God in Disguise, and So Are You. And right now we're on chapter 2. That's where we left off. Chapter 2, The School of Life. And we're on page 23. So I'm going to begin from there. So the author, he says, the next day when I got home from work, I closed the mini blinds, locked the doors, put on some headphones, and tried to meditate for the first time. It was challenging at first, but I liked it. I would love to say there was a lightning bolt moment or some crazy vision, but no such luck. I gradually started to feel different. I was more relaxed. My days became less of a struggle. In other words, I saw results. I now understand that my higher self has been patiently waiting for this opportunity. It was as if I had unlocked the door and the universe kicked it open. And after this brief period of open-mindedness, books, people, and events began to accidentally show up in my life, gently nudging me towards the spiritual path. I didn't know what the hell was going on, but for that first time in my life, I felt like I was getting help from some invisible force. My feelings of it's me against the world began to diminish. Although I couldn't explain it at the time, I no longer felt alone. I was hooked. Unknowingly, I was becoming a seeker on my spiritual path. I'm telling this story while hoping to inspire those who are now experiencing the school of life. Consider being open to new ideas, even if they seem weird at first. What do you have to lose? If someone gave you this book and you have no desire to read it, please don't throw it away. Put it in your nightstand. Maybe someday you'll be inspired to pick it up again. A part of my hopes that on a subconscious level, I might be able to nudge the sleeping giant and help someone begin his or her awakening process. And if I'm preaching to the choir and you are already on this path, maybe you can be that weird friend who sparks the curiosity in someone else. Never miss a chance on this journey to inspire others. If you choose to be on a convert mission, secretly put this book into someone's mailbox. And as I mentioned in the introduction, I feel a sense of urgency. There's too much dis-ease and conflict in the world. Too many of us are sleepwalking through life. We are in desperate need of an awakening on this planet now. Although I know we can't skip school, maybe by sharing what I've learned, I can help others graduate early. The school of life is the stage when we are dominated by our separate self, AKA the bodyguard. When I say we are dominated, I'm referring to our human nature, which is made up of our body, brain, and mind. For future reference, I will use the acronym BBM when referring to the physical self. Okay, so the BBM is like an amazing supercomputer waiting for instructions. Like all computers, it needs to be programmed to function. And during this stage of our evolution, the mind-made bodyguard is our programmer. This training period is a very important part of our journey. All experiences during this period are stored in our memory. Our supercomputer has a massive hard drive, which is our mind and consciousness. Even though we're spiritually unconscious during our training, none of these experiences will go to waste. Everything happens for a reason. There is a universal law that says all experiences in life are perfect and for our benefit. Although this concept can be very difficult to accept during this stage, we will all eventually come to understand this truth. Memories of default and painful experiences that may haunt us during the school will be of great benefit after awakening. And as we evolve, we will discover that these painful lessons transform into wisdom. God is strengthening you for this adventure. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. If it does kill you, you'll get to return for another try. Now, most of us spend eons stuck in this learning phase. How long we spend at each level is determined by free will. At this stage, we will experience some levels of joy and happiness, but also a lot of pain and suffering. I guess the big question might be, how long must I endure this stage of the game? I am tired of these struggles. How do I advance on the next level? Have you ever found yourself thinking, what the hell is going on? Is life really supposed to be so difficult? Like any school, the school of life will test you. All life experiences are learning lessons, and the universe is a powerful teacher. Some students will take time to study each lesson and will advance quickly. Many others will race to the next experience without reflecting on the present moment. These students are too worried about future events to slow down and learn from the now. Unfortunately, this is how most of us live. As a result, we feel trapped in what seems to be a never-ending cycle of struggle. Luckily, things will get worse. Seriously, this is not a typo. At first, the universe will give us a grade, will give us a great poke intended to guide us on the correct path. If we ignore this lesson, that gentle poke will get a little stronger. The longer we ignore these clues, the more painful the lessons will become. Eventually, it's like getting hit over the head with a club. I spent a lot of time stuck in this phase. Yes, I was one of the stubborn ones. I've had plenty of lumps on my head. This is what I mean by luckily things will get worse. Since all of life's experiences are meant to guide us in hindsight, even the painful events should be considered blessings. If these lessons did not get progressively worse, you really would be stuck in a never-ending cycle with no hope for change. Fortunately for us slow learners, the discomfort becomes so unbearable that we finally learn the lesson and make the necessary changes. The purpose of creation is for us to evolve. God does not want us to be stuck. The universe wants us to succeed. Have you heard the saying, the universe works in mysterious ways? Well, this stage is not very mysterious. Pay attention to all of life's experiences. Reflect on the results. If you don't like the results, adjust and move on. Avoid the club. During the school of life, our human nature always has us longing for more. This is all part of the game plan. We feel a void deep down inside. Something is missing. Since we're only aware of our physical world, we look to outside sources to help satisfy this empty feelings. More toys, money, food, sex, power, drugs, alcohol, etc. Relief from these external sources is only temporary. As we get through this process, we discover the empty feelings remain. I was caught in this trap of continuously striving for more. Unfortunately, most people in today's society They look at this trait as a positive quality. We are considered to be type A personalities. This might be an appropriate description if type A stands for asshole. I found there is often collateral damage during this ambitious stage of life. At some point, we will blame our jobs, family, friends, or spouse for our lack of fulfillment. Depression, divorce, drug and alcohol abuse can all be a result of this dissatisfaction. Maybe I can numb that empty feeling. Now, most of the world's population is in pain because we can't figure out how to fill the void. Like an itch we can't scratch. Satisfying this inherent craving becomes an unconscious life pursuit. Without the proper understanding, dissatisfaction continues to grow. External solutions might provide some temporary relief, but only make matters worse in the long run, often leading to addiction and disease. The school of life is everyone's first step, designed to lead us to discovery. Buddhist doctrine teaches that all of life is suffering caused by our desires. In a recent interview, the Dalai Lama offered some clarification of this teaching. He explained that all human beings have desires. These desires are not necessarily bad. He suggested the word dissatisfaction might help us better understand this concept. All of life is suffering caused by our dissatisfaction. We desire something different because we are dissatisfied. Yes, this now makes sense to me. Over our lifetime, we have all accumulated a long list of preferences, likes and dislikes. Instead of enjoying the natural flow of life, most of us are trying to control this process by forcing life to align with our preferences. As a result, we spend our entire existence living in a state of anxiety, fear, and worry. We are suffering for no reason. The spiritual path is simply choosing to go with the flow. The universe has been unfolding for 13.8 billion years, and it will continue to unfold whether you like it or not. So why not choose to like it? Spiritual masters all appear to be calm and relaxed because they know this secret. As Jesus taught, my burden is light. We suffer because we strive for a happy life. We're taught as children that this should be the ultimate goal. Parents often say, I just want my children to be happy. Talk about a heavy burden. Although our teachers may have had good intentions, we have been misled. Since all emotions are fleeting, including happiness, this desire will only lead to more anxiety. Instead, I think it will be better if we focus on living a life of meaning. When you're living an inspired life in spirit, it doesn't really matter if you're happy every moment. To be content and at ease is the foundation of a meaningful life. This is the secret of the masters. Before moving on, I think it is critical that we understand
it doesn't really matter if you're happy every moment.
that states
To be content and at ease is the foundation of a meaningful life. This is the secret of the masters.
mistakes.
Before moving on, I
Call it
think it's
God's
critical
plan.
that we understand
Graduate from the school of life,
that
we
states
must trust
all of
our
life's
teachers.
experiences.
I understand this can be very difficult to swallow when you are in the middle of a terrible experience. How can I fill in the blank? And how can this be for my benefit? Say my drug addiction or breast cancer, job loss, car accident, abuse, etc. A lot of bad stuff can happen to us. I understand the anger, pain, and confusion. I have no desire to debate this idea with anyone. Emotions run too high when we're in the middle of the shitstorm. I can only tell you what I've learned through my personal experience. In every adversity lies seeds of wisdom and grace. There are many ways to say it, but accepting this universal truth is a difficult but necessary part of our evolution. I promise there is light at the end of the tunnel, but you can't bring the anger and hate with you. Clinging to the suffering will not change the past. It will only poison you and lead to dis-ease. Why let the worst experiences of your life dictate your future? It is possible to make peace and accept this truth, even though you do not understand what benefit or wisdom will come. This is what it means to have faith. At times, it will take years for these seeds of wisdom to bloom. Our first reaction is usually, why me? If we listen carefully, the answers will be revealed. I now understand that every experience in my life was necessary. All of it. Yes, the illnesses, injuries, failed relationships, addictions, etc. Every experience provides learning opportunities, and I would not trade one of these moments. Life's greatest lessons are often taught during our darkest hours. I think we can all agree that the loss of a child might top the list of challenging life events. I have friends who have lost their teenage son, Dan, to cancer. As I was writing this chapter, I asked Roger, Dan's father, if he would share his insights on this subject. I specifically asked what he thought about this universal law that says everything happens for a reason and God does not make mistakes. As you might imagine, I was anxious about making this phone call, not knowing how Roger felt about this concept. Roger's answer was sincere and courageous. I thank him for allowing me to use his experience to inspire others. Roger said, although my faith was tested and I lived through some anger after Dan's diagnosis, I soon came to believe that God had a plan for us. If taking Dan early was part of this plan, our family would be a tool to help others. This was very powerful to hear. To have the courage to look for the hidden meaning in such a painful experience is amazing. Almost immediately following Dan's death, Roger and Dawn, his parents, founded an organization to support young adults struggling with cancer. Dan's House of Hope has touched the lives of thousands of families over the past several years. Their 10-year anniversary will be 2020. Their life is now a heroic mission. And visit danshouseofhope.org to learn more. Another story of triumph over adversity involves my friend Joanne Fanny Berry. Fanny was diagnosed with breast cancer 15 years ago. And after going through the treatments associated with this disease, Fanny not only survived, but has thrived. I called Fanny as I was writing this chapter to hear her opinion on the school of life. And this is what Fanny said. The learning lesson for me came during my cancer treatment. To be honest, I'm still learning from it. I was always a believer that everything in life happens for a reason, but felt that I knew what was best for me, and I could force life to see things my way. Cancer taught me that being forceful was not the best way. Cancer humbled me. To find my way, I had to either die or change. It would have been nice if I had learned this without the cancer, but it seems like I needed a push, a helping hand. So perhaps cancer was my friend telling me if I don't change, I will miss the point of life. We all have life lessons. We're all supposed to learn from these lessons and move on. Sometimes we make mistakes, and that's okay. It's part of the process. It is the repetition of mistakes that lead to injury or illnesses. We must notice what the universe has given us and ask why. After her experience, Fanny wrote a series of books to help women cope with life after breast cancer diagnosis. The booklets are called I Wish I Knew. They have been published and distributed in multiple languages, helping thousands of women along the way. Fanny also made some dramatic life changes when she quit her stressful engineering job and moved from Boston to Tulum, Mexico, where she opened a yoga studio called Tribal Tulum. She currently runs the studio and leads personal yoga retreats, helping people heal through yoga. If you would like to learn more about her books on her studio and yoga retreats, visit thatberrygirl.com and tribaltulum.com. And that's Tulum, that's TULUM.com. Financial loss is another life experience that can be devastating. I once heard an interview with a singer-songwriter, Lawrence Cohen. He discovered after retiring that his business partner had embezzled most of his retirement money and sold the rights to many of his songs. The situation forced him to return to touring and songwriting. He said this experience was a blessing in disguise. Those were the most joyous years of my life. Wayne Dyer, in his book, The Shift, also shares some of his learning experiences. He says a heart attack helped me become more caring toward the suffering of others. Being in foster homes as a young boy taught me self-reliance. A painful separation from my wife allowed me to write with a more compassionate heart. I now feel that any big challenge is an opportunity to grow. I can fill an entire book with stories that support this universal truth. I simply want to emphasize that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. If we can push through these challenging times and never stop looking for those seeds of wisdom. Again, it can take time for these seeds to bloom. But I guarantee you that when Fanny was being rolled into the operating room for her cancer surgery, she was not thinking, what an amazing gift. Have patience. I promise this is not about God punishing you. We are being strengthened for a heroic mission that lies ahead. The universe is a powerful teacher with good intentions. Since most people on the planet are stuck in this unconscious stage of life, we will continue to see a lot of pain, suffering, and dis-ease in our world. Although I might be painting a bleak picture, this is a critical point in our journey. The universe is leading us. This is how we grow and evolve. To understand what really happens, we must revisit our friends, the bodyguards, and the sleeping giant. Up to this point, we have allowed our loyal bodyguard to run the show. Remember, we created this separate self long ago as a means of survival on this alien planet. And if you're reading this book right now, the bodyguard has been successful. You're still alive. Considering the crazy responsibilities we have given him, the bodyguard has done a pretty good job. His primary role has been to protect and control the world around us, to make sure this fragile human being, me, is always happy, never gets his feelings hurt, and avoids all danger. Wow, what an awful job. Our bodyguard is doing the best he can considering this impossible task. This mind-made separate self has been giving us instructions for a very long time. This is why our monkey mind is so frazzled. And as you might imagine, trying to control the world can be exhausting. The school of life.
So Larry.
Yes.
We are at a point where we need to bring this to a close.
Okay.
Okay.
Hopefully my Facebook people can hear you. Okay.
Okay, I'm hoping that they can hear me at the moment. And what I'm saying is it's time for us to bring the reading portion of this to a close. I wanted to open it up for comments. We have a few moments for those that would like to make a comment about what they've heard today in the reading. And I'm going to unmute the group for those that are listening on Zoom, if they'd like to make a contribution. And Larry's trying to show everybody me, and they're seeing the Prayerful Heart app. I'm going to flip this around so everybody can see me. Let me just take my, here I am. So I'm in another part of the house. Any comments about what you read this evening or heard this evening? I think this book is a perfect book for these times. And when I say it is a perfect book for these times, because what he's sharing is relatable to us all. So what I want to share is for those that ordered the book, I Am God in Disguise and So Are You. We have your books in and we're going to be shipping them to you. And we received a special gift. And this is a gift. It's a poster sent by our author last week. He popped in and shared a couple of things with us. And he sent those that ordered the book a poster. And I'd like to close this evening by reading this to you. And I'm going to invite you guys to come back tomorrow, next week. So here's the poster. It's an I Am poster, and it says, I am brave, cheerful, abundant, bold, grateful, loved, courageous, healthy, confident, joyous, good, compassion, trustworthy, bright, authentic. I am aware, confident, blessed, selfless, loving, infinite God. I am one with my Creator. Fun, blissful, passion, strong, heroic. I am one with all creation. Fit, bliss, complete, playful, relaxed, fearless. I am powerful, thankful, radiant, enough, funny, awesome. I am free to express my authentic self, aware, generous, beautiful, love, eternal. I am courageous, blessed, authentic, energetic, laughter. I am practicing all that is needed. Energy for my adventure, joyous, whole, intellect, intelligent, caring, happy, powerful. I am creating, grateful, heroic, heaven on earth, strong, peaceful, able, successful, limitless light, passionate, brilliant, and grace. I am. And this I am I speak of is the I am that I know about each and every one of us. I'm going to encourage you to continue to come back to read with Larry. Next week, we will have readers that will be sharing with Larry. And I'm also going to invite you this weekend while we're going to send this back to you as a replay, but I'm going to invite you, and I'm going to place this, if you go to Larry's page, invite you to go. And I'm inviting you to also share this with other people. But I know that many of us are watching Netflix, and there is a movie. It's called The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind. I'm going to encourage you to go and watch that movie. This movie inspired Craig to move into writing this book. And I think you will appreciate the movie. Larry and I had an opportunity to see it a few months ago, and it was a wonderful movie. Anything else, Larry, you'd like to share with the group before we are complete?
Stay tuned for next week. We've got more good stuff.
Okay, well, with that in mind, we wish you all a wonderful evening. Thank you for being a part of this. And I'm going to invite those that are interested to join me at 8 o'clock. We're going to have a prayer circle, our Power 8 prayer circle. If you have a special prayer request, feel free to send in your prayer request and join me. And I will pray with you at 8 o'clock. I'll be sending the link out for that. Have a blessed evening. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you, Facebook people. We'll see you next week.
Talk to you later.
Okay, we'll see you at 8 o'clock.
Okay. Okay.